Toronto Sports Rush, Dan, Kyle, Pierre. Pierre, Leafs are done.
No, they're not. But they're in a little
No,
bit
it's
of
all
problem.
over. It's curtains.
They're in a little bit of a problem right now, but they'll fix it. I don't know how badly Austin Matthews got hurt last night on the Nikita Zadorov hit, but hopefully not too bad. Anthony Stolarz, I wonder if it's more mental than physical with him right now. And for the Toronto Maple Leafs, since the month of November started, they've played 5 games. In 3 of those 5 games, they've given up 5 goals. That's not nearly good enough. They're not going to have an opportunity to win if they keep doing that. They got to tighten up defensively.
Pierre, I'm seeing something that's alluding to what you've just said there with this hockey team. I want to read a couple of numbers to you. And this is indicative of a problem they had last year at times as well. Last night, they blew this game basically in the first period. They had only 6 shots on goal. Versus Carolina, periods 1, 2, and 3, they had 10, 8, 2. Versus Boston the previous time, they also only had 6 shots on goal in the first period. It seems like they're continuing to have these big breakdowns in single periods, and they can't put a full 60 minutes together.
Absolutely agree. And here's the biggest thing. That's a coaching conundrum. You got to figure out who the guys are that are going to be the energy producers in your room, and then you got to lean on them to get everybody else going. You know, the most overused term right now, Kyle, in the NHL is we got guys that can drag other guys into the fight. You shouldn't have to drag anybody into the fight in pro hockey. You should be ready to fight. You don't need to be dragged into it. And so I think the Leafs are trending towards being that kind of a team where somebody's got to drag them into the fight, and I don't think that's the right way to go. I know I talked to you about this last week, and I'm going to say it again this week. At some point here, the excuses are going to stop, and there's going to be a shaking of the tree, and there are going to be some guys that are going to be dispatched from this team and sent to other locations so that the team can take some steps forward, because right now it's not happening the way I thought it would.
I am surrounded by Leafs fans, and the sky is falling. I woke up to a text from a buddy this morning. He said, "How bad are the Leafs? Berube done this month?" My response was, he has more of a leash than that.
I would agree. Now, a lot of people are speculating, and probably correctly so, that, Pete DeBoer is out there and he's available, and he's an Ontario guy. He's a Toronto kind of guy. He's a guy that would fit in here, and we need a big-name coach. Craig Berube's a big-name coach, and he's had a lot of success, and he knows what he's doing. Do I think some things need to change on the power play? Yeah, I do. Do I think some things need to change on the penalty kill? Yeah, I do. Here's one quotient that doesn't go away. The special team quotient, add the penalty kill percentage and the power play percentage. It's 94.8 for Toronto right now. If you think of yourself as a legitimate candidate to compete for the Stanley Cup, you got to be 105 or higher. They're 11 percentage points below where they need to be right now. Just in special teams quotient. The other one to look at is goal differential. It's not nearly good enough. They're near the bottom in their division right now, and that's not nearly good enough.
Pierre, we continue to see good play from John Tavares, but it's clearly not been enough. But with Austin Matthews potentially missing some time, and to be very clear, we don't know how much, if any time, he will be missing. What role does Tavares play in this turnaround? Like, he was the captain of this team. He's no longer the captain of this team, but he's the captain of this team, Pierre. We all kind of know that. How does he assist Berube through this process, this post-Marner era?
Just keep playing the way he's playing. Keep leading by example. Don't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution. Don't be a negative guy around the players. I don't think John will ever be that. He's just a champion guy. He really is. I can't say enough good things, Kyle, about John Tavares. I think the biggest thing for Toronto right now, their defensive zone coverage has to be better. They spend way too much time defending in their own zone. They take too many penalties. Their penalty killing is not good enough. 3 for 5 last night, Boston was on the power play. That's a recipe for disaster if you're Toronto going on their own. Try to win, overcoming 3 power play goals against, almost impossible to do. So there's a lot of work that has to be done for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're going to really turn the corner right now. And I still believe, and I hate to say this, I still believe everybody's going to say, the term, the answer's in the room. We got the answer in the room. I don't think so with this team. I think the answer's outside the room. I think they got to be proactive on the trade front and shake the tree with that team.
Okay, does that mean getting a goalie? Because Toronto being a goalie graveyard, it sure is living up to its name.
Yeah, the problem with the goaltending situation around the league is there's no more Mackenzie Blackwoods out there. That was a steal and the heist of last year in the trade market when Colorado got him. I just don't see that or any player like that. I look at Montreal, LA last night, Darcy Kemper, even though Montreal lost the game 5-1, Darcy Kemper early on in that game made a massive difference. And he's done an unbelievable job in LA. He's not getting traded. I mean, you look at Edmonton's in the market for a goalie right now. Everybody knows it. And they're all saying, UC Saros, UC Saros, UC Saros. UC Saros hasn't won the cup. He's never run a big run through the playoffs. Like, how do you know what you're getting? You know, that's the problem with the goalie market right now. It's pretty tight.
Pierre, let's stick with goaltending because Stolarz left after the first period last night. He with an apparent injury, and we'll see what comes of that. He looked very bad on the third goal, the Steve's goal. And there's been an inconsistency in his game, I'll say it kindly, since he publicly called out this hockey team. In the time since, they've made subtle gestures to the media that, and goaltending also needs to get better. Is there contention in this locker room right now between this coaching staff and these players? Like, what is happening?
From an outsider looking in, it looks like there's a little bit of a divide. I think that's more than fair to say. And I love what you just said, Kyle, truthfully telling it. We read these press clippings now where people say, well, we got to be better here. We got to be better here. Oh, and by the way, our goalie needs to be better. We didn't see that. We didn't see that before. And now we're starting to see it. So, yeah, I think there's stuff that needs to be sorted out. Toronto's not the first team to have this happen to them. They won't be the last. It's part of the trial and tribulation you got to go through over the course of an 82-game schedule. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, I got this team wrong. I thought they would be better than what they are. I bought into what they did in the offseason, and right now that's not living up to where I thought they would be. And I can be the first guy to tell you, I'm pointing my finger right at me, I thought they could overcome the loss of Mitchell Marner. I don't see it happening right now. I do not see it happening.
Are they even a playoff team right now?
Well, I still think they got a playoff type team. I do. I really do. But if let's just say Matthews is out for, I don't know, let's say a month. I don't know if they're a playoff team. You know, if he's out for a long period of time, it's going to be tough for them to reel this thing in.
Okay, so if their big goal scorer may be down for, let's say, a month, let's say 2 weeks, what are we going to see from shuffling point of view? Because they're already in shuffling mode with this hockey team. They're moving things around. Now, is Cowan coming back up? Is it time to, forget the trade market and whatnot? With the personnel, how do they test depth and find something that works?
Well, they got injuries down in the American Hockey League, too. One of their top prospects is Luke Hames. Luke Hames is injured right now. He hasn't been playing, so that's something that they got to address, too. The good news coming out of Boston last night is Matthew Nice had 6 shots on goal. I was encouraged by that. I thought that was a real positive sign for the Leafs and their fan base. But internally, Easton Cowan, Dan brought it up, Kyle, and I think Dan's spot on. They got to give Easton Cowan every opportunity to play up with a big team. And, John Tavares can only do so much. The one guy I'll tell you that's playing really well is Nick Roy. Nick Roy is playing really well. He's looked really good, winning faceoffs, winning one-on-one battles, creating offensive opportunities. I think he's starting to step up, which is good. The loss of Scott Lawton the other day on the Zadorov hit, that's tough. That's going to be so tough for them to overcome. He and Tanev are kind of like those guys you got to have. You're going to win gritty games. And without those two guys and maybe no Austin Matthews, that's a bit of a problem.
Let's take a peek around the league. Connor McDavid continues to score Connor McDavid-type goals, putting the team on his back. But the big story is Macklin Celebrini. It's his welcome. Well, every fan in the NHL is the welcome to the Celebrini show.
He's real. He's for real. I remember watching him practice at Boston University with Lane Hudson, and they would just shred their college teammates. It was unbelievable to watch these guys. Macklin Celebrini is Jonathan Taves with more offense. That's what he is, and that's a heck of a player. Macklin's for real. Will Smith is for real. They got a lot of good stuff going on there in San Jose. The interesting part of their group is if you look at the birth certificates of most of their defensemen, they're really old. But they needed that to help these younger guys learn how to swim in the National Hockey League deep end. And they're doing that right now with some of these older defensemen. I think the biggest thing going forward, though, for Macklin is if he can continually be that offensive presence without being a minus player, especially on a team that probably won't be a playoff team, I got to think they're going to give him a legitimate chance to be an Olympian for Team Canada.
Is it easier for a player to play in San Jose? Because you're on an island. You are playing on West Coast time, not a lot of eyeballs. you're out there on your own.
Fair point. The one thing I'd say, though, their fan base is really dynamic. They love their team. They're proud of their team. It's really the only team that's actually in San Jose that's a major league sports team. I know the 49ers play pretty close to there, but they're called the San Francisco 49ers, not the San Jose 49ers. And so I look at that. That team is such a prideful thing for that community. So there's a little bit of scrutiny there, but I think more times than not, the fans are truly fans. They're not negative. They're more positive. And I think that's a real good thing for a player like Macklin Celebrini.
Pierre, last night we saw, we saw another NHL player with a big goal scoring milestone. Of course, against those very same Leafs, David Pastrnak with number 400. Talk about, like, he's been such a staple in the Boston community for so long now. What a great career he's had.
You know what's pretty amazing about him? I remember his draft year like it was yesterday. And Scotty Bowman called me up. He'd gone over to Sweden to scout for the Chicago Blackhawks. He said, I saw a player that everybody's going to miss on. And he said, he's a first-round pick, and he's really good. And his name is David Pastrnak. Chicago that year took Nick Schmaltz. Good player. He's doing really well with Utah, but he's not David Pastrnak. David Pastrnak is just an amazing player. And I remember Scotty telling me, watch this guy score goals. He's going to be a scoring phenom. He was right on the mark. Couldn't have been more right.
I just wanted to throw this one out to you, Pierre. Who do you have in net for Team Canada right now at the Olympics?
Great question. Probably Logan Thompson for the Washington Capitals.
And is Bennington the second?
No, not right now. I know he's got a win last night, and I know that he's done some good thing over the course of his career, and he's a Stanley Cup winner. I have a lot of respect for Jordan. I think he's an unbelievably competitive guy, and I'm sure he'll get an opportunity to be that guy in charge. But right now, I mean, Darcy Kempford's going to deserve a look too. This is going to be an interesting thing for Hockey Canada to deal with. I think they're going to be fine on defense. I think they're going to be really fine up front. They got to figure out the goaltending part of it.
Pierre, can you actually stay here and continue to speculate? Because I'm interested what kind of mix management may be looking for this year. And by that, I simply say youth versus experience. And that's always a big question for Team Canada, because the saying's always, well, we could put two teams there. But the truth is, it's a delicate balance of guys that have been there and guys that are young and hungry. And where do you see this team falling this time around?
I think one of the real telltale signs for Hockey Canada took place in 2005, 2006, going into the Torino Olympics. I'll never forget being at the training camp out in Kelowna, and they dropped the ball. There was a kid by the name of Crosby that was ripping the camp apart, and they didn't take him. And they took older guys in 06 after what they had accomplished in 02 in Salt Lake, and they realized, this was not good. We didn't have any youthful enthusiasm. We didn't have a very good team. And the 06 Olympics were kind of like the 98 Olympics for Hockey Canada. It was bad. Then when they went into, if you go look at it, what they did in 2010, they've never dropped the ball. 2010 was a gold medal. 2014 was a gold medal. And we haven't sent an NHL player since. But part of why 2010 and 2014 were so good, youthful enthusiasm, Dan, to Kyle's point. And I got to think they're going to have that balance of veteran guys that have been there before. But I think a lot of the guys that played on that Four Nations team, I shouldn't say a lot, but I think a few of them will be replaced with younger players that are really good.
Kyle, anything else before we go to the hockey cards?
No, I've actually been kind of eagerly anticipating the hockey card thing. I have nothing further.
Pierre was stumped for the first time last week.
I know. I'm not emotionally recovered.
JC Bergeron. So we're going to go lower left. John McClain.
Oh, my gosh. So many good stories about Johnny.
Here we go.
Oh, man. I was actually in training camp with Johnny McClain. He was drafted by New Jersey. I was signed by New Jersey. Johnny was tough as nails. He was a great goal scorer. Didn't skate really fast, but man, oh, man, did he have hockey sense. His wife was a great golfer in college in the United States. She's still a great golfer. His wife and my sister play a lot of golf together. I won't tell you the golf course that their members at in Florida because I don't want them to get overrun. But Johnny Mac is a phenomenal person. He comes from a great hockey family. His one boy is playing for the New York Islanders right now. His other son played at Clarkson University. I got so much time for Johnny McClain. Huge fan of the guy. Huge fan of him as a player as well. And he was a really good coach. Really good coach.
And Pierre, we can't forget way back in the day when he saved Christmas by getting rid of all the terrorists in Nakatomi Plaza. That is correct.
Oh, that's good.
Fun
I'm
fact.
so glad you guys caught that.
The building that they used for that was directly behind the Fox lot when Jay and I worked at Fox. So we would see the Nakatomi Plaza, whatever the hell the name of it is, every single day.
Wow.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah.
Hey, well, settle
I
this,
won't finish
guys.
that.
Is that a Christmas movie or
Yes.
not?
Stop. Yes.
I think
It's the Christmas movie.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Ah.
The answer was it's not. Thanks, Pierre.
Great talking
Thanks,
with you
Pierre.
guys. Johnny McLean, the pride of Oshawa, Ontario. Way to go, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, the schwa diggity, baby. If you ever want really good Indian food and you're in Oshawa, go to Bollywood Taco.
Oh,
Very
Indian
good.
street tacos?
It's a little corner shop, and their masala fries, don't get them to go because you won't get the smell out of your
don't
car
travel.
because there's a lot of onions and stuff. But if you eat those, you will be in heaven. Delicious.
I have a roof rack. I'd be happy to attach them to the roof rack, Dan, and spread the joy through the neighborhood on my way back to my abode.
What other news do we have here? We have reports of
Bichette.
Bichette contract
Yeah.
$208 million. I knew it would be around 200. How many years are they saying that is for?
I don't know that we have that information, but if I had to guess, 8, maybe 7 or 8, something in that. No, 6 or 7, maybe actually.
I will say the same thing I say every single time when big numbers get thrown out to players and people are like, I don't know if that. I'm like, it's not your money. What do you care? Give them 500 million. I don't give a shit. It's
They
not
just
my
made
money.
it in beer sales. They just
Yes.
made it in beer sales on that playoff run. Give them the money. It's 8
Yeah.
years we just had screamed into our ear. But yeah, so that's give the man his money. He's one of the best offensive talents in baseball, and he's also a clubhouse guy, and he's a huge part of why this team would have a chance to repeat this year's success. There's no question here. Give this man his money.
I fell into a trap on YouTube. I follow the Blue Jays on YouTube, and they had a thank you to the fans video showing all the moments, and I'm like, geez, why did I just watch this? They didn't show any of the controversial plays though. They just showed all the good moments.
The spring training and learning to take leads and when to go and when to stay and all of that.
Hey,
other
I
stuff.
saw Max Muncy in an interview. He said IKF did absolutely nothing wrong. He said, no, he played that perfectly.
To me, it's still a matter of, if he didn't, it was because of what we saw the night before. And once again, it was like the Dodgers still had to execute a play perfectly. So I don't know. I'm not stuck on it, to be honest with you. I did enjoy your breakdown of it, to be honest. That was a lot of fun, but I'm not stuck on that as much as I am the squandered opportunities beyond that. There was too many to focus on just one.
Yeah. How's Reno? You're still there.
Still there. We have one more day of shooting Poker Night in America. What a lot of fun. I got to tell you guys, Jennifer Tilley, one of the nicest humans you could ever hope to meet. She is a barrel of fun. She did very well at the table yesterday. I can't reveal those numbers because the show is not out yet. But this is a great spot, this Grand Sierra Resort and Casino. Pretty cool that they filmed the show here. Pretty cool to observe it and help out where I can. It's been a lot of fun.
Who else is there? Jennifer Tilley, Phil Hellmuth. Who else?
Well, it rotates through the day. If you know poker, a fellow by the name of Jungleman's been at the table for the last couple of days. Phil Hellmuth, of course, it's Hellmuth's home game. In each of the last 2 days, Phil's sons, Philip and Nick, have alternatively participated. Juan Lee, very famous poker player from our area up in Toronto. She's a big-time winner. Who else has been? I actually don't know who's at the table today, but it's kind of rotates in and out. People stand up, sit down. And one guy got it because of all the travel nonsense. A fellow by the name of Eric Lindgren, who is a well-known poker player, wrote a few books about the game. He sat down with his luggage right beside the table because there was only 2 hours left in a 6-hour game. And it was these people are entertaining pros. Like it's a wild thing to observe with that kind of money on the table.
Yeah, the old cat and mouse game.
Yeah, there's a bit of a romance to poker. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great movies about it as well. It translates as well as any form of gambling.
I do not have the attention span for it. Well, Kyle, hope you survive. We'll see you back here Friday, buddy.
You will. Thank you.
Bye bye.